everybody, welcome back to the channel.
Hello.
This is passive aggressiveness with Uncle and the nephew.
And the nephew who takes loads of abuse all the time and is numb to it. And
nah, you don't take abuse, man. We just want the best for you. That's what it is. That we're trying to just guide you. We're not trying to tell you what to do. It's like I do with my children. I never tell them what to do, but I'm there to sheep them, hurt them, so they don't fall over the cliffs. Every time they're almost falling out over the cliff, we just go, no, just like that. And then you make them make their own decisions, and then when they get to the end of it, they end up with something like this.
I was born to bass jump though. Let me jump off the cliff, Dad.
But that's what it is. That's what we're designed to do, right? When we're kids, we want to jump off the cliff.
Mm-hmm. And I have.
No, you haven't. That's not the cliff, is it?
So did you ever jump off the cliff? This is a big metaphor that will break down eventually. Did you ever jump off the cliff,
or have
you always been?
No. People keep saying that I'm very much into. You know, we're talking about our rigs now. Basically this video is this is the thus opposite attracts, and it's basically John's rig and my rig, and we're going to talk about what is it that attracts us to these rigs, and does something attract us to the other person's rig? And that's a really good question you're asking there.
Because you did have a Boss era, right?
So I've had a Line 6 era, man. I'm old now, right? I'm old. I don't feel old. I feel like I'm really young. But I'm getting there, and I've been around for a long time. And I've done a lot of gigs. I've done a lot of shows. I've done a lot of live stuff. I've done arena stadiums, you name it. I've done it all. We're lucky to do that. I've traveled the world. I've done world tours. And I did use, when the Line 6 first came out, you know, when they first brought the pod out, the original pod version 1, the red baboon spot, or whatever it was. I used that for touring in America for the beginning, and then I had a Veta head. So I was one of the first people in Denmark to adopt this, and I remember everybody else going, "Oh, no, it sounds bad." And I was like, "No, just give it a chance." You know, there's clips out there on YouTube, me playing with Blue and Atomic Kitten, where I'm actually using a Veta head. I played the Brit Awards for Tom Jones using a Veta head.
I bet it was a great gig.
And it was a great gig, and I used the Line 6. I had the overdrive, the modulation, and the green, you know, the pedals.
Yeah.
I used that when I did Atomic Kitten tour. Did I do it with Girls Aloud? Anyway, so I'm not averse to it all. You know, I'm not, and it all has its place. And I was, as I keep saying, and people go, "No, don't believe me." I was adapting it way before, just because I found it really interesting.
Yeah.
But on my channel, on my own channel recently, I've dug up some of these old things, and I've used them again, and I find they're just fine. They're still good. I can get just as good sound out of an old pod, no offense, as I can out of this going straight into a rig, you know. And it's convenience, and it's good, and it sounds amazing, and you can make it sound good. And for a tour, if I was going back on a tour now, and I wasn't doing it for me, I was doing it for the money, or let's say I'm just a stagehand, and it's going to be on in-ears, and it's going to be wireless, and all that stuff, I would absolutely 100% use a QC or a Kemper or a Helix or a Tone Master Pro, because they're all great and they all sound fine to me. Then it's more, do I like Mercedes? Do I like BMW? Do I like, you know, Volkswagen? What do I like Volvo? I'm a Volvo guy. It just comes down to that, basically.
Okay.
And then at the end of it. But what I really feel like is when I'm in the room with it. When we were in the beginning, and you were playing, I said, "Can you turn it down a little bit, Taylor?" Because it becomes a bit sort of harsh, and that's the difference between listening to a guitar, in my opinion, through a rig in the room with two speakers that are designed for guitar and two amplifiers that are real and makes it all nice and warm, to having something that's designed to sound like that comes out through some speakers that's designed to listen to music on.
Yes.
And that's the difference there.
That is the difference.
And that I can listen to myself play super loud on a guitar setup with amplifiers without me going, "Oh, now I'm getting tired of listening to it, my ears hurt." That's how I find it. So that's why I prefer listening to, you know, if a really nice sound in the room. It's almost like putting an album on and you listen to the bigness and you walk into that sound in the room, you know, when you have nice speakers.
Yeah.
Compared to listening to something on your phone, where people walk down the street and they listen to an MP3 on their phone.
Sort of, yeah.
In a very, I mean, we're talking, this is, I'm playing it out there, you know, but that's the feeling. It's a feeling thing for me. But I've used it, man, and I would use it again, and I've got it all, and I use it from time to time.
I appreciate your agnosticness.
Yeah,
on the matter.
agnosticness.
Yeah. Now I'm going to talk about my end of things. So on that point, right, about the end result of whether it's in a song or whether you're hearing it through a cab, right? I think that's what it comes down to. I've said this in various clinics and videos, and I've kind of lost the metaphor a bit. But the way I think about guitar tone, right? Process of making a cookie. What this is like cookie dough. It's the raw ingredients of a guitar tone that are like amazing. You can eat cookie dough, you won't be sick.
The European version of it, not the American version, which that is, because there's too many ingredients.
The metaphor will break down eventually, right? But cookie dough is really great. Everyone loves it. It's like, but it's not the final end result. You bake it into a cookie. That's what this setup is. With Genelecs, and like you were saying, the mastered song, that's how I hear guitar tones, and that's what I aim for.
Right.
So that's why it is bright, because a cab takes off some of that high end that you then add in the mixing stage with, the master bus and tape saturation and all that. That is what my generation, not to say that, there's an age gap, but there is like...
Oh, there is.
I
could be your father, probably.
I've grown up with that idea of a guitar tone. You've grown up with it out of a cab. And I think that's why people are never going to agree on this. Because we're hearing different things.
But it's not about agreeing on the things. I think it's about knowing where you are in the stage of, you are making that sound out, it is coming out of the mix. And I understand that. That's why I'm saying I would use it again if I was doing a tour with some pop artist or something where it wasn't important to me. But I know how I feel when I have to play something that where I'm not happy with the sound, where I do a compromise every night, and I'm going, oh. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm like, oh, it's like that for me when I'm doing 200, let's say 150, 200 gigs in a year. And I know I'm going to need to go and play the same song with the same sound on stage every night. I'm going, oh. I'd rather have the best sound I can have and then leave. This is where I trust front of house guy, monitor guys, to create the sound that I give to them to then mix it into, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to mix it here. That's not my job. My job is to make the best sound and make it sound like me, and then give that to the guy whose job it is to make that into the mix in the front of house or into the in-ears. Because that's not my job, but that's probably where I come from, where you don't have a monitor guy like that on the side who literally does everything, and he does all the in-ear mixes for everybody, and everybody has got a different in-ear mix.
Yeah, I mean, I do have that as well, depending on the gig, but like, for me, they add a mic, and that is what is added in this process. And, if you give them that mic'd up guitar sound, that's one thing that can also not go wrong on a gig, is less cartage and ISO cabs. It's just like, this is the iPhone and that is the, that telephone.
Yeah, and that's
which is fine.
Because it's directly, you can always get a dial tone. You can always go through because it's a wire that goes through the ground all the time. Where if your iPhone runs out of power, it needs an update.
Everything is going to run out of power. I mean, you have to have a million leads. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
But it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah,
and it is. But I'd rather. What microphones do you use on there? 57.
57 and a Royer 121.
Okay, so that's what the majority of people put on cabinet anyway.
Yeah.
That's up to them to place it really nicely, and it's up to them to make sure that's how they want it. I want it like this, and I've had sound guys come up on the stage and fiddle with my rig, and I'm like, F off, man. That's not. This is my space here. This is the sound I want, because this is the sound that inspires me to be the best I can, because I'm getting paid to do a job, and you are paying me, not some other guy. So, you selected me to come and do the job because you want me to come and do my thing that I do. That's your job out there, and that's your job over there. And then this is kind of what I have, This is great. This is like more like a podcast. But I understand that, and that's why I would use that in that scenario. And I would never use it in the studio. If I was doing a real recording, a live album like we have with recently with I would never use anything like that, because that's when I think you can make some really magic happen, and you can get the good sound.
Did you use that in the studio, John?
I have in the same studio at Real World.
We went to Real World. Yeah. We went to recently where you did
the Apollo with Neural, and it was great. But at the same time, I am not you. I don't have the clout of Peter Honore, but I think
the clout.
No, well, this is kind of the thing, right? I mean, you have a very great position where you can afford to be like, I'm going to use what I use because I am Danish.
No, that's
and I'm not
nothing
saying
to do with
you
it.
go in that attitude, but as most guys in my position who, you know, fly into a gig, usually it's like a one-off run and a tour. We're at the mercy of the MD, what the backline guys want, and we're just going to have to slot in and, you know, be kind of musicians of the band rather than like the guy who's the guitarist, which, you know.
I do that too, and that's where times have changed. You know, times have changed in the last 20 years. You know, since it's 10 years ago since I did my last tour, and I did have amps on the stage, and the other guy did have a Kemp on the stage, and you could definitely tell the difference in the two, and it mixed really well together. That there was two people, and the guy was mixing more in a mono way, so there wasn't all the stereo stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And the Fly Rigs is you know, I'll fly in and play with anything if I have to.
I think that's the crux of it.
But I think we have been, the guitar players now have been molded into by other people, like the front of house guy, and I'm not saying, but front of house guy, like in Jack's case when he's playing, you know, oh, you have to use this, you have to do that. And I was like, I would now personally go, well, then I'm not going to do the gig then.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
I was gonna. Well, that's not a gig for me. It's not a gig for me then.
Yeah.
And I understand that we have to make a living and fly in and do it, but I just don't feel like I want to do it.
Yeah.
Because they're not in charge of. I feel like, where's the individuality in it then?
Well, you could still be individual. I mean, to bounce off that last point that I made, is I would still use stuff like this because it makes the process of creativity so much more spontaneous. Like if I'm producing an artist at home, I have one of these on my desk, the setup, the black and white QC one from Andertons, which you should buy now. But I can just be like...
I did not sold out. I think it's sold out.
Oh, is it? If it is sold out, well, what a shame. But... Anyway, I have that, and I can just keep stuff moving instead of like plugging cabs in and micing stuff up and going, don't talk while I record this guitar take, because, you know, it's like a mic in front of a cab, all that kind of stuff.
But that's a home studio.
Yeah, but even, you know, being in the same room with an artist and like being in control of it is cheaper. I like creating with someone in the room, and that kind of creative process is very digital friendly.
I can do that on my Logic. I can do that with a plugin. I can do that with the neural plugins. I can do that with the, you know, with the John Mayer plugin. I don't need to have that to do that. But I don't need that on my desk. Yeah, but I don't need that on my desk. It is that's what it is.
Yeah, whether it's on the floor or on the desk doesn't matter. But
I'm just like, we haven't done any songs, but it like one just the sound that is recorded through real microphones and real speakers and moving things that moves, and you know all of the. I've done sessions where people tell me to play one G chord at a time on acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
Because they don't like that, and I'm going, okay, fine, that's what you want. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. But it's like, where is the? Then it might as well be AI at that point. You know what I mean? We might as well go AI on it, because then you don't get any individuality in the mix, and everything is clipped in and clicked in. The drums are all lined up, and all of this is cut, and it's all auto-tuned. And I just feel like the magic, you're kind of wiping the magic off with. That's what the magic is all about. That's when you just click the Suno button and go, well, I need some guitar on that. Boom. And it'll be great, and it'll be fine, it'll be in tune.
Well,
but play some sounds. Let's have some sounds on it. But we do agree on things. We are different. You know, I'm much older than you are, and I think coming from here, going to there, coming back to here, I've kind of learned a little bit about it, you know, and
as have I.
Yeah, and I'm not averse to it. I just like this old-fashionedness and the anyway, let's just play.
I do live an old-fashioned as well.
I don't drink anymore, John. Don't make me do that.
Sorry. So, what I've done here is actually, this is a gateway drug for you, in a sense, because this is my old school patch. This was actually at that Real World session we did Sweet Child of Mine, and this was...
Sweet Child?
This was supposed to be like ripping off the kind of thing, which you don't think sounds anything like it.
No, it's like a room thing. It sounds like you're in a room, in a studio. I can hear a studio room, as a reverb on there, right?
It's some sort of, it's one of the reverbs, yeah.
Yeah, it's a room, because that's how it's recorded and it sounds like. And it does sound like it.
And you know, the good thing about the whole digital thing, I know you can set up stuff with gig rigs, which are great, and they can change multiple things at once, but some settings on the amp are changing between the clean chorus that's I think 1 amp or 2, but their EQ dials are changing, and you can't physically do that in real life by having a guy on your amp changing the bass and treble. Because with the JCM, like the 2203, I think the settings on this are ludicrous. If you look at that EQ,
that's proper master EQ.
It is atrocious. Bass is off, mid's at 10, presence 8.5, treble's down the middle. But like, if I change some of these.
You've got stereo, you're running it stereo, right?
Yeah, because it's good fun. And they've also got an EQ after it. I'm treating this like a Logic channel strip.
Exactly.
And that's the mindset that I have with all these kind of tones. And that's, I think, what people who produce in the box nowadays, like me and kids even younger, that's what they're doing. But anyway, this is like that Marshall. Can do that kind of thing. Got a phaser. It's an old school patch, so you might like that one. But you can go really wacky with this thing. Let's just do my presets. There's some strange things in here, but 80s DI, clean DI. So this is going to be your like. Very, very bright, drastic changes, then you're back to that kind of thing. Again, still not out there yet, so...
No, but listen, I get all of this because it's really cool that you've got all of this at the tip of your feet, as you would say, right? That's amazing. But it's like, I don't need all of that. When I play a gig, I don't need it. Nobody's listening to that stuff.
But don't you just love making your guitar sound not like a guitar?
I like it to sound like me.
Well, yeah, and that's great. You do sound like you.
I just like that I can hear the guitar. That I'm not like, oh, is this a guitar or is this not a guitar? Or is this something that's put on a mix in the backing track? Or is it the guy playing or is it on the track? I'm like, no, I want
to... my problem now is that I don't want to sound like a guitar. I just want to make it sound like something else.
Exactly, but then...
like this... You get weird artifacts, and it's not a guitar sound. And I think that is stuff that you can't do with that kind of... I mean, you could.
Not with this, but on another board I have where I've got pitch shifters and all sorts of other things on there, and octaves and all sorts of stuff. I can do that with that board. And I can bring that out with me if I want. And then I have one board, and then I have another board, and I have a third board with everything else, I know this is much more convenient. And I completely get that. And that's cool. That's cool.
What else we got here?
It doesn't. I think the thing with me is that if I want to sit down and play, I want to just have a really nice, inspiring sound. I don't want it to sound like a keyboard. I want it to sound like a guitar. You know what I mean? That's just me.
I think I'm going from a more like producer standpoint, like Kill Switch Engage fans. The lo-fi intro thing. I use this on any like metal, even rock thing. You need a clean intro that's really wet, and then it's like the. That is like 2 EQs, one at the end. The megaphone plug-in thing, that is so much fun just to be able to have on a tone, and then you could go in something else. That's for a bass 6, I'm not going to use that one. Everlong, let's just... Super mid-range, naily.
You're wedding band's wet dream.
I've never used that on a gig like that. But
no, but you are, because you can play all those things. I can't play those things, but I will guarantee you 100% that not one person of the audience in that drunk wedding group of people dancing will go, oh yeah, listen to that. That sounds exactly like it. As long as they're here.
Yeah, but
then they're like, then they if they hear the one that everybody always play.
Sweet Child of Mine.
No, Sweet Child of Mine. The one that's really annoying up here.
Oh, the Killers.
Killers,
Mr. Brightside.
Mr. Brightside.
Oh, I do have a patch for that somewhere.
Exactly, you got a patch for that, and I've got a patch for that. I got a patch for that. I got a patch for that.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. I just can't be asked with it, because when I go out and do gigs like that, I just see my friends, and we go, what are we playing? We're playing Mustang Sally, or we're playing that Killer song, and I can't remember now. I always have to listen to it before, and then we just have fun. And if we have fun, they have fun.
I mean, by nature of that Neural video, we had to do a preset for each track, but usually I will just I have my live preset that doesn't really sound good in this setup because it's like super warm, because everything's really loud, but I have the same methodology. Life's too short sometimes. But
how many amps do you use normally when you, let's say you're just doing a normal gig and you don't have to set up, a patch for every song.
Yeah.
How many amps do you then?
I think my main patch, I mean, I can show the people. So this is my main patch, and you see there's quite a lot going on here that changes. Let me just throw this back in standard. Incidentally, you can't see a guitar lead because I'm wireless. I thought I'd, even when sitting down, be genuine to the graph.
He's got the Japanese GTR lights under his board as well. Like.
So shout out
Which
Kimmy.
is awesome.
This actually is my board. This is built by Guitar Audio Solutions. I think there's a sticker. Kimmy in Helsinki.
That is very cool, man.
It's so
I have
neat.
to say, that is very, whoever built that, Kimmy. That's a good, well-built board.
Kimmy's the man. And I'm very grateful. So, this is my and I sometimes do use a Les Paul on gigs, the Supreme, again, it's going to be very, very warm all of a sudden, but you can sort of get away with chords, but this is that bright, 80s DI. This is a thing like a crunchy chorus.
But how many amps is this? How many amps
Just
are you
one.
using?
You'll see there's only one amp block on that second row down there.
Right, so you're only using one amp, so...
And just gain stages. The orange ones are drives.
And how many amps have you got access to?
On QC now, 100 and something, I think.
So, you know what I'm saying?
But that's because of real estate. I like just having one amp and having drives. Loads of people have 8 amps and change, but...
And that's crazy. And I just like that, and in the room it's... I always have a compressor on, but I don't use it as a compression. I just use it to lift an amp a little bit. So you've got. I mean, it is incredible. It really is. I've just done a video at home actually on the Toadmaster Pro because I felt like I wanted to try it out again, just to keep myself. So that's what I do on my channel. I just go I'll take this and I'll keep myself updated on what's going on out there when there's an update. And I wanted to hear that again. And it's a similar thing. It's just great. It's so easy to use, and you can have all of these options, and it's really cool. But
one thing I do want to add as well is that you'll see at the bottom there's a little splitter channel with a cab going to output 1 and 2. So you're hearing left and right through this entire video. We have got this orange lead going into the PowerValve, which I could actually demonstrate now in the room. So bear with me to edit.
Which makes a massive difference.
It does. Okay, so we've just quickly mic'd it up and stuff. This patch has loads of mid-range because I find when you turn it with a drummer, you just need the mids so people can hear what chords you're playing.
He's playing real drums, by the way.
Well, I'm not playing drums. Drummer is playing drums. So same sort of thing, right? You got, I don't know, let's do a...
But it's much more like, because you're using that now, you've got the cabinet. It makes huge difference.
Yeah, digital preamp, but the power section and all the thump is real from the power.
Huge difference.
200. So, yeah, that clean thing. I'll go through these mega quick, chorusy crunch thing. Envelope-ish filter. That's good fun. Just, Then lead. I think this is with a Maya-esque crunchy thing. But yeah, this is available the whole time, and you'll see top left turns off without use.
Right, so that's not a...
It's not a volume. On some of these, actually no, I'll tell a lie, it's a wire that I can engage.
It can be a volume.
Yeah. But it just turns off without you. So yeah, I can... Or on... And then I'm just... it's very, very efficient. But
can I just say, it makes a night and day as soon as you got a cabinet in the room.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So as soon as it comes out of cabinet, instead of these.
And this is what I gig with. I send the left and right front of house when they want it, but I also have the PowerValve and 2 Victory 1x12s, I think, and then just, left and right if I want.
And that could be added to a board like that. It's that hybrid kind of...
It's the Cyborg rig.
It's a hybrid rig, isn't it?
Cyborg TM, trademark.
Opposites do attract.
Opposite do attract. So I would use I think I would use the an aux box and send those out to the front of house.
Yeah.
And then still have all of this. And then they can do whatever they want. It's the same thing. So just to...
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm running actually. Normally I've got a PowerValve as well, which I run an effects loop wet dry rig, but I'm using a DP40 up there now, and then a Deputy. One is completely dry, Okay. And the other rig is, so one cabinet is dry, the other one is wet, basically. So as soon as I put like the fates on,
that is a very nice chorus, that fates. I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's on the chorus side now. And I think when I go for those kind of sounds, instead of thinking, oh, I need to set it up, and I think he used that, and then he put that compressor on, and then you sit with your thing and you do that, I just go, Prince played it like this, and I go like, there's a chorus and there's a reverb, and I think how he played it. So the way that I would play it, I'm almost using my fingers to create the sound instead of using that to create the sound.
Yeah, but do both.
Well, I don't need to do that if I can. Which
it's apples and oranges.
It's
apples
6/7.
and oranges.
It is. I mean, I never turn up with anything. I just have that even when I do any songs. I never make a patch for anything.
Can you hear that E flat chord though? That's the. Yeah, it's like elbow on the floor trying to get that though, isn't it? It's so
he
difficult.
does like so you go like. So you've got time to do it. But so basically what you're hearing is only one side has got effects. Sorry, so I got like a tremolo on as well, for instance. It's all in mono, and I think when I do recordings for sessions at home or whatever, when I record or when I go to studios, it's always mono tracks all the way. I rather do two of the same tracks and then pan them than having anything stereo.
The same performances?
Same performances, yeah. So when I record anything for Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, and whatever it is, I always do mono tracks all the way down. I give maybe 8 of the same tracks. So I'll just play the same thing. Yeah. And they can pan it in the mix afterwards because that's how they want it. Because it creates a better stereo effects when it's 2 tracks that's not played completely the same.
So different performances.
Yeah, but I'll play exactly the same. So I'll play exactly the same.
It's double track essentially. Yeah.
It's double tracking, and the double tracking becomes the stereo instead. And I do that with acoustic guitars as well because it just fills it out this different way. I'll do like 8 tracks for them every time. So 8 tracks of that guitar, 8 tracks of that guitar, 8 tracks of that guitar.
8 tracks.
Yeah, but it doesn't take long, man. And I play it all the way through. There's no copy pasting. You can ask. Oh
right,
Graham.
So it's not parts. That's like the full track. Just 8 times.
I will play. So I'll play the whole track through every single time. And if they want to cut it out, they can cut it out. If they want to keep me doing the track.
I thought you meant 8 different. Like every layer you do of different parts 8 times.
Yeah. So if I have an acoustic guitar, which just like, right?
Okay.
Let's say that's just what it is.
Why are you doing 8?
Because it sounds different. I'll play it exactly the same.
Oh, so these are variations for them that they can pick. Okay, that's different, right?
And you know why I do the mono thing? Because if everything is stereo, nothing is stereo.
Get that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
I agree. Same with producing a track. You got to have some imbalance. Yeah.
And guitar shouldn't be stereo on a track.
Some should.
See, no. Nothing should. You should dub it up and then have the mono out in the track, and you could see how much more it's going to fill up.
If you have a mono vocal with a stereo verb on it, that's nice.
Yeah, but that's a different thing. If you boss it in, you can boss something in that's reverb, but I would never do a stereo.
Well, that's how I'm treating all my effects are essentially buses that are baked into the preset.
Yeah, okay, but I'm saying nothing in. That's just my opinion on it, and that's just how I can hear the things. Anyway,
more sounds.
So. So I got that, and then I got the delay, which is just a simple El Capitan delay.
Is that
when I can just tap.
Analog?
It's a tape.
Yeah.
It's all analog, but I can tap the tempo in it. I've got a bit in front of it. I've got some sort of double tracker thing.
Yeah, it's like usable phase.
It's just a usable phase thing, but I never really use any of that. So
Protein's a great bit of kit.
Protein are great. I've got a low. I got the Dane. I can push that with a Halcyon. So nothing is stereo here, but it kind of gives that vibe off because one is.
But we're playing out of a mono speaker. You know, it's a cab. It's going to be a mono setup, but it feels great.
It's great. I've got a fuzz. Even there, because there's two cabs, it sounds like the stereo, but it's not.
Yeah.
All right. This is.
Are you going? So that wet dry thing, those verbs aren't going into any preamp stage. They're all in loops. Yeah.
Just in the effects loop. Yeah. If you want that kind of rocky thing, and what you do, if you want to just change it to a humbucker guitar. I feel like I can do most with that, and it's just I enjoy. Yeah. I think I enjoy the sound of it, and I don't need. I've got a wah pedal.
And you always have verb on, which is coming from
a little bit of verb on the Deputy, which is running into one cab. So there's always a little bit of verb.
Yeah.
I mean, I like having the swap guitars out, but we need to swap.
Yeah. Speaking of swapping, all right, I'm going to put you on my old man patch. And I'm also going to give you my wireless.
I've got it.
Yeah? Okay.
So we swap these. Look at this one here, that's Shure. You also have to remember that we are playing differently. You know, we are different players.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's what it's really. Let me put this back here.
Let's give it. I really want to try that guy.
Just top. That's tremolo. So take that off. The next one is reverb.
No, I'll take that.
Tremolo and chorus.
Yeah. See the amount of modulations on some of those patches.
But see, that's the whole thing. That's too much for me.
And I want to try that off.
That's just a bit of getting a little bit.
Feel good. I really like that chorus.
I think it's about the that's still on that
Protein
and the reverb and the delay still on. But see, as you said, I can get a gig rig and I could set it up so like Lee's doing, where you click one and then everything comes on, and you know. And I've got a gig rig system as well, but I don't use it right now, so I don't really feel the need for it. You know what I mean? Got a bigger board, gig rig with all the stuff from MIDI switching, with the timeline, the big sky, the X90, all that different stuff on it, which I can do as well. But I just don't feel like I need it,
Yeah, I mean, it's the luxury of having Danish Pete's lifestyle working on multiple boards.
But that's not what it is. I think you just get to a point where you're prepared to walk away from stuff. I think as a guitar player, as a musician, in the beginning you say yes to absolutely everything like I did, and then at one point you just go, well, I don't really want to take the train or drive into London and pay for parking and pay for congestion charge and get in there at 6 o'clock in the morning and then do all my own gear and then get 75 quid for it, and then I have to pay that in tax while I have to pay for my kids to be looked after in nursery.
Being a musician is hard, and it is like that.
It is, and I think at some point in your musical life, as in your career, you choose. If you want to keep doing that, that's fine. But I doubt most musicians over 40 will go, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. It's just like I've done all that. Okay. You've done all that, and you've been there, and if it hasn't paid off, you're like, okay, well.
I want you to hear it. Swipe up from the bottom, a bit harder. Give it some beans. There we go.
Oh, that one. There you go.
You'll see your patches
there. I love
there.
this. This is cool.
So
you got to clean up here.
Yep.
So much compression on it.
Yeah, that's by design from the track. But if I
well, this is don't change anything. This is I'm not changing it. No, don't change anything.
I'm gonna because
now you're changing stuff.
There you go. Now it's a bit lighter.
No, because it's like you. This is your rig. You're using mine as I said it. I love this that you can swipe up there and you get your gig view. I mean, it sounds fine. I just feel like for me, it's not my kind of sound.
Fine.
And I feel like.
I mean, that is a slash thing over there, but
but that is not what it is. I just feel like it does this to me. I'm kind of in this. I'm hitting something. So does that make sense?
Well,
it's not in a bad way, but I feel like I want to go. I want to play really softly with my.
Yeah, but you're on a dime JCM.
Doesn't matter. You go in there. Put the Dane on. But no. Just listen. Put the Dane on.
Yes.
Okay, and the compressor.
Yep.
And then reverb.
Are we okay?
And then reverb. Yeah.
That one, isn't it?
And then on the neck pickup, dial it all the way up, and then just do one of these, like G chord.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in drop B. But it doesn't matter.
All the way up. And then play it like softly. Like that, really soft. And there's not this. I feel, and that's just me. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me after playing guitars for as long as you've been alive and longer, right?
Probably. Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
Yeah. So I've played for 38 years, right?
Okay.
Something like that. You just go. You get to a certain point where you're playing, how you feel things and what is good for you and all that different stuff. And I get this, man. I love it. I think it's so clever and it's awesome. I would use it absolutely 100%. But as an inspirational tool, as if I'm going to do a job, perfect. But as an inspirational tool for me for writing music, for coming up with ideas, it leaves me a bit cold.
I'm the opposite, but yeah. That's just how it is, yeah.
It's how it is, and I feel like I'm the,
But we're more different. No, we're more similar than we are different.
Yeah, I think so.
As guitarists,
and I think guitarists just are like that, and we search for stuff all the time. I still that Fates thing. I've had that pedal for so long, and we started setting that up, and I was like, let's just try that one out, and I was like, I forgot how good that was.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about a pedal, just taking a pedal in and out, and then you go, oh my god, that was so good. Why am I not using that? Mm-hmm. Where you kind of here you stuck it. It's not like, oh, I get a new pedal in. You know what I mean?
I mean, you do, but yeah.
Yeah, but then you download some pedal of something that's made a version of it and all.
There's some cool bits in there, man. Anyway,
no,
yeah.
I'm not. You keep defending it, and that's fine.
You can. I could try and analogize everything you like about this in there and be here all day. And likewise.
Absolutely. And I think this it's for everybody.
What would you say the ideal solution is? Do they attract?
I would say it does, because I think the best thing about these things is that you can hybrid them up, like Rabir's doing, where you can have this, and like I was thinking of getting the mini version, put it in a rack, and then have a stereo. What's the brand called where you can slot them in and out? I've got Synergy amps. So you got 2 Synergy amps in there, you got a stereo in and output, and then use that as the effects, and then have some guitar pedals in front of it, and then have it all in a rack unit, but with 2 cabinets.
Yeah.
And it's like the best of both worlds, you know?
Yeah.
And then have a controller like they had at NAMM. I think that for a live rig, where you make the sound guy happy because you got that out, and then you got this on the stage for you or forever, and you can get that sort of feel from it. I mean, that's awesome.
And what I think as a digital native is good about something like this is that you are committing to tones.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
the paralysing thing about the digital world is that you can tweak forever. And I think it's not the point of making music. Like, no one makes anything.
No,
and that is the bad thing about this whole digital thing. So this is what I love about that, is that you have your sounds that you want because you're Danish Pete. It's dual lock. You need to pull it
and
off.
you're digital, John, and you've got it.
Yeah,
you got your stuff, and that's the best thing is that we have got our own thing, and that's what you should do. You should find yourself in it
and do something with it. Make music, play with people.
Yeah, don't be Stevie Ray, because he was already Stevie Ray. He's always been it. He's already done. You know. And Mercedes Sato is him, and John Mayer is him. Be yourself, man.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're doing. This guitar's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Funny story, the reason why I picked that, you played the red one, the wine red, a couple of years back, and I bought it the day after the video went up.
Oh my God.
Because he played it. So now he's played that, someone else is going to buy that one. Go and buy it from Andertons.co.uk.
Thanks,
like
man.
and subscribe.
No, I appreciate it. This was fun.
This was good.
I think this was really good, and it was very...
This was almost like a therapy session, I think. Show them the wiring at the back. All bespoke.
Oh,
Chox power and everything.
Keox, Danish brand.
Keox them.
Danish brand. Shout out to them because they do some really good stuff.
Yeah, Kimmy Guitar Audio Solutions is the man.
Yeah. BTPA.
No, Guitar Audio Solutions.
Guitar Audio Solutions.
Yeah, based in Helsinki, Finland. Go and take a trip over.
Oh, you did? Okay. Everything good comes out of Finland.
They don't miss.
No, they don't. So there you go. Thanks, man.
This was good. Like and subscribe.